Women love your lack of emotional awareness. Women like it when you are basically like emotionally unaware. I see a lot of different content creators attempting to teach attraction when it comes to helping men attract women, and like a lot of these guys are just like blatantly wrong when it comes to the things that they are prioritizing. And a big reason for that is because they do not understand like the actual masculine essence that it takes to really continuously connect with a woman on a soul level, so that way she desires to keep seeing you. I'll tell you this, you can try to do all the different things you want with your style and your fashion. You can try to do all this stuff, and if you don't understand the internal workings of how you need to carry yourself, this is going to be almost impossible to continuously have success. Stick with me, this video is going to help you. Okay, first and foremost, women giggle and get turned on when men almost act like they are too stupid to notice the things that is going on. Okay, so I'm going to read this one more time. Women giggle and get turned on when men are too stupid to notice things that they do. Okay. A guy who gets very reactive, he's reactive because he is emotionally aware. Women get turned on when you are emotionally not aware, or you have a lack of emotional awareness. So when a guy acts like he doesn't really give a crap, let's say he acts almost completely oblivious to how others may feel. Okay, I'll give you an example. If there's a bunch of people sitting around at a table and somebody makes a joke and everybody starts laughing at the joke, if this dude really doesn't think it's that funny, he doesn't feel the need to laugh or put on a fake smile. Okay, or I'll give you another example. Or she feels like he's too dumb to even be aware that others might be upset. Okay, so if other people are like upset, he just kind of walks around and doesn't really care, doesn't even really notice, and he's just focused on doing whatever he wants to do. Like, this is going to be the main basis of like frame and how to carry yourself, especially if you are going to see women consistently. Okay, and this even needs to show up like when you're out like at some type of social event or something like that. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I see so many guys always saying like, oh, I have such great social skills, but then the women that I'm talking to are not texting me back. And it's like, yeah, that's because good social skills doesn't equal attraction. So for all of you trying to improve your social skills, like a lot of times women will date guys who have really bad social skills even, or guys who don't even really talk a lot, or guys who aren't even very good at carrying on a conversation. And the few sentences that he does manage to say, she thinks it's funny. Like a lot of the things you probably think matter just don't. Women really don't care about your social skills. Like it doesn't really prove much. It probably just proves you're really friendly. Okay, so like if she feels like he's too dumb to even be aware that other people are basically like upset at something, she sticks by him because he appears stronger than the rest. Everybody else is like, oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. It just looks stupid. So you're going to watch her get turned on when a guy demonstrates these things. A really good example is if you ever see like an old dude, like a grandpa, let's say he's like 80 years old and he's kind of just like, you know, walking around the house saying a few things or whatever, a lot of people will start laughing. This is what I'm talking about. The emotional unawareness, or his lack of emotional awareness, is a turn on a lot of times socially, because he doesn't feel the need to act how everybody else does. So you're going to watch her like giggle or get turned on, and now what happens is she tells herself, oh, you know what? He seems like a big problem. I'm going to try to fix him up and make him nicer. Oh yeah. Now that's a problem that she wants to solve. So this is where you're going to hear her start to say things like, hey babe, you need better manners. Hey babe, you need to be more polite. All this type of stuff. This is what you're going to hear. And you just have to know that like this is the dynamic that she likes, because this allows her to basically like keep checking to make sure that like he is still the man. Okay, so as soon as he now starts to like become nicer, or what she claims she wants, this is where you also notice a decrease in attraction. So you can learn pretty much all the stuff you want regarding these topics. Like, okay, things like looks maxing. This is really popular for guys to talk about. style guides and how to carry yourself with the right fashion, or any type of like external appearance where you try to like make sure your style is on point and all this, these things will help the physical attractiveness that you're carrying. But the things that I'm teaching you, like this topic, women love your lack of emotional awareness, this goes way deeper than any of like a lot of the modern things that guys are focusing on, because what I'm doing here is I'm actually teaching like masculinity on like a soul level. Like, how do you ensure that the woman you're dating or talking to wants to keep talking to you? And see, this is why a lot of guys, if you've ever been in the situation where you will like go out to like an event or something and you tell yourself, oh, you know, I talked to 4 different women for 20 minutes each and the conversation seemed so good and the chemistry was so good, and we even exchanged phone numbers, and now I just text messaged her the next day and she didn't even reply. This is why. Because the angle that you're trying to take to facilitate attraction is not actually creating attraction. You're basically just showing you're really nice and you get along with everybody socially, which is like the opposite a lot of times of what like a truly masculine man does. Is he really doesn't even care about what everybody else is doing or what everybody else is talking about. That's why so many of you guys going out trying to talk to so many people to improve your confidence, it's not even going to do a whole lot of anything for you, because it's probably not even going to equal the things that actually maintains attraction. That's the point that I'm trying to get across. So most guys today basically just follow trends, and this is like the opposite of what you want to do. And then they forget that like the core internal nature of what the masculine man represents is all the stuff that I'm teaching you here today. So this is why a lot of guys who basically like look attractive, they can never maintain their relationships because there's some inner work that they have not done. And it's not even necessarily inner work, it's just like learning what not to do. This is the thing you have to understand. In order to have success in your dating life, it's not even about learning more things a lot of times that you have to add. It's like basically just getting rid of all of the old beliefs that don't actually work. This is how you get dating success. So this is what it looks like, okay? I will show you what it looks like, because if some of you hear this and you're like, well, this is kind of hard for me to understand, this is a good example. Let's say you have a dude and he's married, okay? So he's living with his wife. Let's say you're married and you're living together, okay? And let's say she's upset about something, right? You know, maybe you left the refrigerator open, whatever. And let's say she's just stomping around the house, you know, she seems all mad, she's not really saying much, not really making eye contact, she's just looking away, looking down, not really talking to you, okay? A dude who has like real masculine frame, he's going to act oblivious to this. Okay, so he will basically ignore it, not give into it. Maybe he'll just leave the house, or he'll go hop on his motorcycle and go down the street and go get a cheeseburger. Maybe he acts like he doesn't even notice. And then when she says, oh my God, what are you doing? Why aren't you home? Where are you? Why aren't you talking to me? Then when he does see her, he's like, what do you mean? I was eating. I was working. I don't know. And you'll notice he's not like going into the conversation. Okay, this is how the dynamic has to be, where you are not reacting to things. The reason why most relationships or marriages fail is because since the man becomes emotionally attached and invested into all of these different emotions, he will try to have conversations. It's because most men are not actually understanding the correct dynamic. The type of conversations you think that you can have that leads to mutual chemistry doesn't actually work. So what you think works typically doesn't. That's why I make these videos, because it's like you can do all the stuff that you want to do. Like you can go to the gym and get in really good shape and, you know, go to the shopping mall and buy cool clothes or whatever. But like as soon as the words coming out of your mouth, she's like, this guy is just not the type of like guy I want to be with, you're not going to have success. Okay, so another thing you need to do that guys are a lot of times unaware of is like you need to keep your words very basic and very simple. You don't want to really have a big vocabulary. Your vocabulary level, okay, you want it to where like you're not really sounding super smart. You don't want to really appear like you're very smart. A good way to think of this is you basically want to keep all of your words to like a 3rd grade level. Okay, just very simple and easy to understand. Or what you notice will happen is that if you have a big vocabulary and you sound really smart, the woman that you're talking to, she's probably going to start to get turned off. She just won't like it. So let me give you a few examples. When it comes to words and vocabulary, you need to keep it very simple. So it's not intelligent, it's smart. You keep it simple. It's not unnecessary. No, it's, we don't need that. Okay? It's not antique, it's old. Smart, we don't need that, and old. Not intelligent, unnecessary, antique. If the words are too big, you're going to get interest tested more. If you don't believe me, go and test this out for yourself and watch. What I'm telling you is probably going to play out in your dating life. So you need to always talk very simple. Big words, okay, basically lets her know that you are emotionally aware. When you communicate with a big vocabulary, it shows that you're emotionally aware. The more emotionally aware you are, the more she tries to test your emotional fortitude. You're actually going to get interest tested more. And this is why, like, a lot of times, like if you go out to a party or something and you just kind of sit there in your own world and do your own thing, and maybe everybody else cares about, you know, their manners and meeting everybody, and you kind of just act like you're just in your own world doing whatever you want and you don't really care, you're going to notice a lot of times women will even come and start talking to you first. You are embodying the aura of like masculinity. This is super important. Big words lets her know that you are emotionally aware. This is not good. You also want to be almost like oblivious to manners. So most guys, they try to show how, you know, much status they have because of their manners and their social skills. This is like completely opposite. Okay, this is like completely opposite of what you want to do, because like everything that happens on a real like attraction level, when there's like true romantic chemistry between the man and the woman, is like completely different. So you want to be almost oblivious to manners. A good example would be like how you eat when you're solo by yourself needs to be the exact same as how you would eat around other people. As soon as you start changing the way you act and, you know, the way you hold your napkin and all this stuff, she's going to look at you and be like, oh my gosh. So any amount of change or altering in your behavior to show that you care will slowly decrease desire. So another thing you have to be aware of is like showing you are emotionally aware will also cause you to get tested more, and the more oblivious that you are, the better. Because she's like, oh, he doesn't even necessarily notice, like everybody else has all these manners and, you know, says all this stuff, that whole please and thank you vibe, they're just not into it. So what I'm teaching you is how to have like the highest degree of frame or masculine frame. The reason why this really shows the highest degree of frame is because it really shows like you did not let the world get to you with all the talk about manners and all this stuff. You didn't let the world get to you. You just like, you're fine. So like what I tell a lot of guys who you tell yourself, I need better social skills. I need to get better at meeting people. It's like, for what? For what? No, you don't. If you've lived this many years in a row and you're doing just fine, your communication is all it needs to be. You don't need to do anything that's more fancy. So this is what you have to understand. This is just one of the small pieces to starting the process of learning, understanding, and mastering the language of women. What I've created is a community with over 2,000 guys inside of it. I am seeing so many guys have success. Even I'm like surprised at how many guys just keep saying like, oh, this is so, you know, good, or this is helping me in my dating life, or all of those types of things, all of those different types of things. I keep seeing this and I'm like, wow. Because when I built it, I knew that this was super good, but even I didn't expect this many guys to all of a sudden start saying all this stuff about it. Like, you can see what I mean. If you go and you look at the page that I made, it's in the description, and you just start scrolling, you're gonna just see a bunch of guys talking about it, saying amazing things. And they're using it inside of their dating life. Go and check out what I made for you. I'll help you learn, understand, and master the language of women as well. This is super good, and you're going to want to see this. Like, there's a lot of dudes getting really good results with this. So you have to go and check that out. You have to see it.